Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the still darkness of AM, wondering why your body refuses to stay asleep? You're not alone. As we age, many of us experience these early morning wake-ups, leaving us puzzled and sometimes even frustrated. You might stare at the ceiling, listen to the quiet of the house, and wonder what's wrong. The truth is, this phenomenon is more common than you think, and it's not just a random habit or a simple consequence of aging. If you've ever struggled with early wake-ups or felt confused about why your sleep patterns have changed, stay with us. We're about to explore 5 powerful reasons why older adults tend to wake up around AM. Each reason reveals something deeper about your body, your health, and the life experiences that shape your rest. And by the end of this journey, you might just see your sleep in a new light. If you believe that understanding your body is the first step toward better sleep and greater well-being, take a moment to subscribe to Graceful Elderly and share this message. Your support helps spread knowledge that can make a real difference in people's lives. Now, let's dive into the first reason: the natural decline in melatonin production. Reason 1. Reduced melatonin production as we grow older. Our bodies naturally produce less melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating our sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin acts as the body's internal clock, helping us fall asleep and stay asleep. In our younger years, melatonin levels rise in the evening, allowing for long, uninterrupted sleep. However, after the age of 60, this production gradually decreases, leading to lighter sleep and more frequent awakenings, especially in the early hours of the morning. Imagine your sleep cycle as a wave. When you were younger, that wave rose high and stayed steady through the night. Now, as the wave's peak softens, it becomes easier to wake up as the body transitions from deep sleep to lighter stages. That's why you might find yourself wide awake at AM, not because of a loud noise or a dream, but because your brain is naturally shifting back toward wakefulness without enough melatonin to hold you in restful sleep. Harold, a 72-year-old retired teacher, experienced this firsthand. For years, he prided himself on his ability to sleep through the night. Recently, though, he found himself awake around 3:15 AM almost every night. At first, he blamed himself, thinking it was stress, diet, or something he had done wrong. But when his doctor explained the natural decline in melatonin, Harold's perspective shifted. He realized it wasn't his fault. It was simply his body's chemistry changing with age. Once Harold understood the role of melatonin, he made a few simple adjustments. He started keeping his bedroom darker, using blackout curtains to block streetlight, and avoiding screens at least an hour before bed. He also began taking a brief evening walk to help reset his circadian rhythm. While he still occasionally wakes up early, he no longer feels frustrated or anxious. Instead, he works with his body's natural changes rather than fighting them. Reason 2. Advanced sleep phase and shifted sleep cycle. A third common reason older adults wake up at AM is related to a phenomenon called advanced sleep phase syndrome. As we age, our circadian rhythms naturally shift forward. This means you may feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning, even if you prefer to sleep later. Think about it like this. In your younger years, your internal clock might have been set to wind down at PM and wake at AM. But as time passes, that clock can move forward, making you feel tired by PM and fully rested by 3 or AM. It's not that your sleep quality is poor. Your body has simply completed its cycle earlier. Charles, 68, noticed this after retiring from his job as a mechanic. He used to stay up late and sleep in on weekends, but now he finds himself drifting off around 8:30 PM and waking up at AM, feeling alert and ready for the day. At first, he thought it was insomnia, but when he learned about the natural shift in his sleep cycle, He realized it wasn't a problem, it was just different. To adjust, Charles made some changes to his evening routine. Instead of going to bed right after dinner, he took a slow walk, read a book, and stayed engaged in light activities. These small changes stretched his natural sleep window just enough to align more with his desired schedule. Gradually, his wake-up time moved closer to a.m., giving him a fuller night's rest without feeling disrupted. Reason 3. Physical discomfort and health interruptions. Waking up at a.m. has less to do with sleep chemistry and more to do with physical discomfort. As we age, we become more sensitive to minor aches, muscle tension, or even subtle shifts in room temperature. Conditions like arthritis, acid reflux, or an overactive bladder can rouse you from deep sleep without you even realizing it. Take, for example, Eleanor, a 76-year-old woman who started waking up at 3:30 a.m. At first, she blamed her mattress or the noise outside, but after tracking her sleep patterns, she noticed a connection with her arthritis pain. When she lay still for too long, her joints stiffened, nudging her awake. After consulting her doctor, she began using a heating pad before bed and practicing gentle stretches. These adjustments made a significant difference, allowing her to stay asleep longer. For others, it might be the need to use the bathroom. As the bladder becomes less elastic with age, even a small amount of fluid can trigger the urge to wake up. One solution is to reduce fluid intake in the evening and empty the bladder right before bed. Managing physical comfort can transform those restless early hours into peaceful rest. Reason 4. Emotional and psychological restlessness. It's not always the body that wakes you up, it can be the mind. In the quiet of the night, when the distractions of the day have faded, unspoken worries or past memories may surface. Older adults often carry deep reflections about loved ones, life changes, or lingering regrets. When the mind has space to wander, it might choose the stillness of a.m. to sift through emotions. Gloria, 80, and recently widowed, often found herself awake and reflecting on her life at these early hours. Instead of resisting the wake-up, she decided to use it as a time for gentle reflection. She kept a journal by her bed and wrote a few thoughts when she couldn't sleep. Over time, this practice became a form of emotional release, helping her process feelings and drift back to sleep peacefully. Understanding why you wake up at a.m. isn't just about finding a quick fix, it's about listening to your body and mind. Aging is not a problem to solve, but a journey to navigate. When you learn to recognize the signals your body sends, you gain the power to make small, meaningful changes that improve your quality of life. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll explore practical strategies to manage these early wake-ups and how to work with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. Because you deserve peaceful, restful nights, no matter your age. Now that we understand why older adults often wake up around a.m., it's time to explore practical strategies to manage these early awakenings. The goal isn't to force your body to follow a rigid sleep schedule, but rather to create a soothing environment that naturally supports longer, deeper rest. Aging bodies require a different approach to sleep, and by making small adjustments, you can significantly improve your nights. One of the most important changes to make is to rethink your evening routine. Many seniors unknowingly set themselves up for restless sleep by engaging in stimulating activities right before bed. Watching intense news programs, scrolling through social media, or discussing stressful topics with family members can activate the brain when it should be winding down. A better approach is to create a calming pre-sleep ritual. Start about an hour before bedtime. Dim the lights and switch to quieter, more relaxing activities. Reading a light-hearted book, listening to soft music, or practicing deep breathing can gently signal your body that it's time to transition from the busyness of the day to the tranquility of night. One simple yet effective method is the warm bath routine. Soaking in a warm bath for about 20 minutes can help raise your body temperature slightly. When you get out, your body temperature will drop, mimicking the natural cooling that happens as you fall asleep. Adding a few drops of lavender essential oil to the water can enhance relaxation, helping both your muscles and your mind to unwind. Another essential aspect is managing your sleep environment. The older we get, the more sensitive we become to subtle changes in our surroundings. Even a small amount of light, noise, or temperature fluctuation can disrupt sleep. Start by assessing your bedroom. Is there a glow from a digital clock? Does street noise seep through the window? Are the bed linens too heavy or too light? Consider using blackout curtains to block external light, especially if street lights or passing cars shine through. A white noise machine or a soft fan can mask sudden sounds that may wake you up. Adjusting the room temperature to a cool but comfortable range, usually between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, can also make a significant difference, as the body naturally prefers cooler environments for sleep. Your mattress and pillows play a crucial role too. Over time, mattresses lose their support, and pillows can become flat or lumpy. Upgrading to a medium firm mattress, designed for pressure relief, and choosing pillows that support both the neck and spine alignment can help reduce aches and pains that disturb sleep. Another valuable practice is mindful relaxation techniques. When you find yourself awake at AM, it's easy to spiral into worry or frustration. Instead of trying to force yourself back to sleep, practice progressive muscle relaxation. Start by focusing on your toes, gently tensing and then releasing them. Move up through your calves, thighs, abdomen, chest, arms, neck, and finally your face. This process not only helps calm the mind, but also releases tension held in the body. If your thoughts keep racing, practice guided imagery. Imagine yourself in a peaceful, familiar place, perhaps a quiet garden or a gentle lakeside. Visualize every detail, the colors, the sounds, the scents. Allow your mind to explore this calming environment, and you may find sleep naturally returning. As your anxiety decreases, another important strategy is to adjust your perception of wakefulness. Sometimes the fear of not falling back to sleep makes the problem worse. Instead of worrying about being awake, consider this time as an opportunity to rest. Even if you're not sleeping, lying quietly with your eyes closed still helps your body recuperate. This shift in mindset can reduce anxiety and paradoxically make it easier to fall asleep again. One practical tip is to avoid looking at the clock when you wake up. Seeing the time can create pressure and frustration, making it harder to relax. Turn the clock away from your view and remind yourself that it's okay to rest without worrying about how many hours you have left to sleep. It's also helpful to plan your next day ahead of time, especially if your mind tends to start racing about tasks or worries. Jotting down a quick to-do list before bed can help offload concerns from your mind, reducing the chances that they'll resurface at AM. Diet plays a surprisingly significant role in sleep quality too. Eating a heavy meal too close to bedtime can cause indigestion, while going to bed hungry can make it hard to settle down. Try to have a light, balanced evening snack that includes protein and a small amount of carbohydrate, like a slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter or a small bowl of oatmeal. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and sugary foods in the hours leading up to sleep, as they can interfere with your body's ability to rest. Hydration is also key, but timing matters. Drinking too much liquid right before bed can lead to frequent trips to the bathroom, breaking up your sleep cycle. Aim to drink enough water throughout the day and limit fluids about 2 hours before bedtime. If you frequently wake up with muscle stiffness, consider incorporating gentle stretching before bed. Focus on areas that tend to hold tension, like the lower back, shoulders, and hamstrings. Simple seated stretches or light yoga poses can help relax tight muscles and ease you into a restful state. Some older adults benefit from natural sleep aids, but it's essential to choose wisely. Melatonin supplements can be helpful for those experiencing a decrease in natural production, but always consult with your healthcare provider before starting any supplement. Herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root can also promote relaxation, without the side effects associated with stronger sleep medications. Finally, pay attention to your body's signals. Not every night will be the same. Some nights, despite your best efforts, you may still wake up early. On those occasions, practice self-compassion. Rather than criticizing yourself for being awake, acknowledge that your body is doing its best to adapt to changes. Rest quietly, breathe deeply, and trust that your body knows how to find its rhythm. By making small, thoughtful changes to your evening routine, sleep environment, and mindset, you can create a more peaceful and restorative night's sleep. It's not about forcing your body into a rigid pattern, but rather supporting it through gentle, consistent care. Over time, these habits will help your body learn to sleep more deeply and wake more refreshed. Building a sleep routine that works with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them is one of the most effective ways to manage those early morning wake-ups. As we age, our bodies naturally go through changes that affect sleep patterns. But with a little intention and care, it's possible to find a routine that nurtures restful, rejuvenating sleep. One of the most important aspects of a successful sleep routine is consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps regulate your body's internal clock. This consistency teaches your brain when it's time to wind down and when it's time to wake up, reducing the likelihood of those AM awakenings. Setting a consistent schedule doesn't mean forcing yourself to stay up late or go to bed too early. Instead, pay attention to your body's natural cues. If you tend to feel sleepy around PM, honor that feeling rather than fighting it. Trying to stay awake past your natural bedtime can cause restlessness and lead to fragmented sleep. Creating a calming pre-sleep routine is equally important. Start winding down about an hour before bed by engaging in activities that promote relaxation. This could include gentle stretching, practicing slow, deep breathing, or even meditative journaling. Write down your thoughts, feelings, or any lingering worries. Putting them on paper can help your mind feel less cluttered, making it easier to let go of stress when your head hits the pillow. For those who find themselves waking up at AM with racing thoughts, it can help to establish a nighttime ritual specifically aimed at quieting the mind. Practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale quietly through the nose for a count of 4. Hold the breath for 7 counts and exhale slowly through the mouth for 8 counts. Repeat this cycle 4 times. This method not only calms the nervous system, but also focuses your mind on something soothing rather than your worries. The environment where you sleep plays a significant role too. Even subtle disturbances can affect how deeply you sleep and whether you wake up in the early hours. Start by evaluating the lighting in your bedroom. Even a small amount of ambient light can interfere with melatonin production. Using blackout curtains and turning off all electronic devices that emit light can help create a truly dark sleep environment. If complete darkness makes you uneasy, consider a soft, warm-hued nightlight. Avoid bright, blue-toned lights, as they can mimic daylight and disrupt your sleep hormones. Instead, choose a dim, amber light that casts a gentle glow without overstimulating your senses. Temperature control is another critical factor. As we age, the body's ability to regulate temperature becomes less efficient. Keeping your bedroom at a cooler temperature, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, can help signal to your brain that it's time to sleep. If you're prone to feeling cold, layer lightweight, breathable blankets rather than using one heavy comforter. This way, you can easily adjust without fully waking up. Sometimes, the simple act of changing your sleep position can make a difference. As the body ages, joints become stiffer, and certain positions that once felt comfortable may now cause discomfort. If you tend to wake up with aches or stiffness, experiment with pillows designed to support problem areas. A knee pillow can help align the spine, while a contoured neck pillow reduces strain on the cervical spine for side sleepers. Placing a pillow between the knees can alleviate lower back tension. For back sleepers, a small cushion under the knees can reduce pressure on the lumbar area. Finding the right position helps reduce tossing and turning, allowing you to sleep more soundly. Your evening meal also plays a crucial role in sleep quality. Eating a large, heavy dinner close to bedtime can cause indigestion or acid reflux, both of which can wake you during the night. Opt for a light, balanced meal a few hours before bed. Including foods that promote sleep, like turkey rich in tryptophan, whole grains, or a small portion of nuts, can help signal relaxation to your body. Another often overlooked factor is hydration management. While staying hydrated throughout the day is essential, drinking too much fluid right before bed can lead to frequent bathroom trips. Aim to taper off liquids in the evening and make your last drink a calming herbal tea, like chamomile or valerian root, which naturally supports sleep without causing excessive urination. Addressing pain and discomfort before sleep can also reduce the chance of waking up early. For those with chronic pain conditions, consider a warm compress or heating pad on problem areas before bed. This simple act can relax tight muscles and alleviate joint stiffness, allowing for deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you may still find yourself waking up at a.m. In these moments, the key is to remain calm. Instead of getting frustrated or anxious, try a gentle mindfulness exercise. Place one hand on your abdomen and the other on your chest. Breathe slowly and feel the rise and fall of your breath. Focus solely on the sensation of breathing. This technique can ground your mind and make it easier to drift back to sleep. If you've been lying awake for more than 20 minutes, consider getting out of bed briefly. Engage in a quiet, non-stimulating activity, like reading a calming book or listening to soft music. Avoid bright screens and strong lighting. Once you start feeling sleepy again, return to bed. This approach helps your brain associate the bed with sleep rather than restlessness. Incorporating small, consistent changes into your sleep routine makes a significant difference over time. The goal isn't to force sleep, but to create an environment that naturally encourages relaxation and rest. It's about finding what works for your unique needs and being gentle with yourself through the process. Your sleep will evolve with age, and that's okay. Instead of battling your body's natural rhythms, learn to work with them. By building habits that support restful sleep and practicing kindness toward yourself when sleep doesn't come easily, you create a peaceful relationship with your own body. And when you start seeing sleep not as an elusive goal, but as a gift, you can nurture the frustration fades. You gain the ability to rest, to heal, and to greet each new day with more clarity and calm. When it comes to sleep as we age, one of the most powerful changes we can make is not just in our routines, but in our mindset. Many older adults feel frustration, guilt, or even fear when sleep becomes unpredictable. They worry that something is wrong, that they are somehow failing because they can't rest like they used to. But the truth is, sleep naturally changes as we grow older, and learning to accept this evolution with grace can lead to better, more restful nights. One of the first steps toward acceptance is to recognize that waking up at a.m. is not a failure. It's simply part of the body's adjustment to new rhythms. Instead of labeling it as a problem, see it as your body's way of communicating its needs. This perspective shift can reduce anxiety and, ironically, make it easier to fall back asleep. Take the story of Margaret, an 80-year-old widow who often found herself awake in the early hours, replaying memories and worries. At first, she felt defeated, convinced that her sleep patterns were a sign of decline. But her daughter, a nurse, helped her reframe the experience. She encouraged Margaret to think of those wakeful moments as quiet time for reflection, rather than insomnia. Margaret began keeping a small journal by her bed, where she would write down any thoughts or feelings that surfaced during the night. This simple act turned frustration into comfort, giving her mind a gentle way to process emotions without the pressure of forcing sleep. This idea of welcoming the wakefulness rather than resisting it can transform how you experience those early hours. Rather than worrying about how many hours you have left to sleep, consider this time as a moment of peace. Use it to stretch lightly, breathe slowly, or even pray or meditate. Sometimes, letting go of the urgency to sleep allows your body to naturally settle back into rest. It's also helpful to create a nighttime plan for wakefulness. Instead of lying in bed and feeling restless, have a few calming activities ready, like knitting, coloring, or listening to a soothing audiobook. Keep the lighting low and avoid anything too stimulating. The goal is to gently occupy your mind without fully waking it up. By preparing for these moments ahead of time, you remove the panic of, "What do I do now?" and replace it with quiet acceptance. Another important aspect is forgiving your body for its changes. Aging brings shifts in metabolism, hormone production, and circadian rhythms. Sometimes early waking is the body's way of saying, "I've had enough sleep for now," even if it doesn't fit the traditional 8-hour expectation. Allow yourself to rest without judgment, understanding that sleep at this stage of life is more about quality than quantity. Maintaining a sense of self-compassion during these changes is crucial. Instead of comparing yourself to younger years or to others who seem to sleep soundly, focus on what feels right for you now. Remind yourself that your worth and vitality are not defined by perfect sleep patterns. You are still active, present, and valuable, even if your nights unfold differently. Social support also plays a significant role in maintaining a positive outlook. Talk to family members or friends about your sleep changes. Often, you'll find that others experience the same challenges. Sharing stories and strategies not only normalizes the experience, but also fosters a sense of community and mutual understanding. Sometimes, just knowing that others are on the same journey can alleviate loneliness and reduce stress. Consider joining a senior group or an online forum where sleep issues are openly discussed. You might discover new tips or simply find comfort in knowing you're not alone. One of the most effective ways to regain confidence in your sleep routine is to focus on daytime wellness. Engage in light physical activity during the day, whether it's gardening, walking, or simple stretching. Physical activity helps regulate your internal clock, making sleep more predictable and restful. Even 20 to 30 minutes of gentle exercise can make a significant difference. Spend time outdoors as well. Natural light exposure, especially in the morning, helps reset your circadian rhythm. Just sitting by a window or taking a short stroll can signal to your body that it's time to be alert and active, which in turn makes evening rest come more naturally. It's equally important to practice good sleep hygiene. even when your routine changes. This includes keeping your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark, and reserving the bed for sleep and rest rather than for watching TV or worrying. Establishing these boundaries helps your mind associate the bed with peaceful sleep rather than restless thoughts. Nutrition also plays a role. Eating smaller, lighter dinners and avoiding caffeine and sugar in the evening can minimize sleep disturbances. Herbal teas like chamomile, valerian, or lemon balm can also encourage relaxation without the side effects of stronger sleep aids. If you still find your sleep fragmented, consider breaking it into 2 shorter rest periods rather than one long stretch. Some older adults naturally shift to what's called biphasic sleep, where they sleep a few hours, wake for a bit, and then return to sleep. Embracing this pattern rather than resisting it can reduce stress and actually improve overall rest. Lastly, embrace the idea that good sleep is a journey, not a destination. It's okay if some nights are better than others. Instead of seeking perfection, aim for comfort, acceptance, and consistency. Allow your body to guide you rather than imposing rigid expectations. In these later years, sleep is not just about maintaining energy, it's about maintaining a sense of peace. By listening to your body, practicing self-kindness, and building routines that respect your evolving needs, you can experience sleep not as a battle, but as a time of renewal. Aging brings wisdom, and with it, the understanding that change is natural. Let your sleep reflect that wisdom, calm, adaptive, and rooted in the belief that you deserve rest, even if it looks different from what you once knew. When you accept your sleep patterns with grace, you invite tranquility into your nights and greet each morning with a little more hope and light.